After a tremendous match, Liverpool beat Real Madrid 2-0 in the 5th round of the Champions League. It was the first victory over Real in 15 years since 2009. Back then, Liverpool, under the management of this gentleman, Rafa Benitez, won 4-0 at Anfield Road. Who was the key player for Liverpool? What offensive action did Arne Slot prepare? And what is Liverpool's greatest strength? Let's find out. In this match, the Reds had many ways to get from their own half to Real Madrid's half, depending on how Carlo Ancelotti players set up in the pressing, whether 3 players up front or 2, they always find a way to create a goal-scoring opportunity. And the player who moved perfectly between these lines, who was absolutely key, he was the brain of the whole team. Most of the Liverpool actions went through him. That player is Ryan Gravenberch. He found the passing line brilliantly and turned with the ball towards Madrid goals. He impressed with his calmness and composure. He did not panic when he had his opponent on his back. He was able to lose the defender with his body balance and play a penetrating pass. Here, a one-touch pass allowed to bypass the whole midfield line and transfer the action to the opponent's half. In the other situation, we see that Gravenberch drew 2 players into himself, which opened up space on the right side for Conor Bradley. Whenever there was a gap in Real Madrid defense, the Reds immediately exploited. Another example is the situation when Valverde, playing as a right back, went out for a through ball. However, Real Madrid quickly lost the ball and Liverpool played to the space that Valverde had left. This shows how quickly Arne Slot players think. As I mentioned, the Reds had a few tactical solutions to break into Real Madrid's half. When the centre-backs were low, one of the midfield players, in this case Bradley, ran into a through ball, not to receive it but to draw the defender and make space for a long pass to Salah. In other situations, McAllister would draw the attention of the opposition in the center of the pitch, then run forward. Right back, Valverde had a difficult task in deciding whether to run to Diaz or McAllister. As a result, he didn't reach either, which opened up space on the left for Diaz. Liverpool had been using the interesting tactical trick since the beginning of the season. When McAllister received the ball and threw toward goal, it was a signal for the attacker to go for a through ball. And we can see this here when Bradley and Luis Diaz entered the penalty area. It's not a coincidence, because in this match McAllister was the only Liverpool player who played high through balls in positional attacks. And what is Liverpool's greatest strength? Their crazy pace and intensity, how aggressively they approach pressing when they lose the ball, how much they run, and their deadly counterattacks. Here we can see they get from 30 meters in their own half to the opponent's penalty area in less than 8 seconds. In the 18th minute, Conor Bradley ran to the counterattack with such intensity that it seems like it was the 10th minute. This shows how well prepared Arne Slot players are physically. The pace they impose is deadly for their opponents. And what about Real? They were ineffective, made a lot of mistakes in attack and made bad decisions. Their game was based on the flashes of one player who failed in this match. Kylian Mbappe recorded a lot of losses, misses a penalty, and his performance is best summed up by this image. This weekend we have another big clash ahead of us, the match between Liverpool and Manchester City. The Reds are clearly favourites after City lost 4-0 to Tottenham. You can see the analysis of that match here. See you in the next video.